Okay, here's a bicep slice from the open guard position. Want my knees open up, shins inside the cracks of his elbows here. And normally, typically, I'd want to control at the triceps. I probably have a little bit better control when I have my shins in his biceps. But in this particular technique, I will control the wrist. Now, I got wrist control, my shins in his biceps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten my leg, come outside to inside his armpit, hook it with my foot, and pull it in. So that is outside to inside and hook. Hook the arm. Don't let go of this grip. Once you get the hook on his shoulder, I'm going to pull him in using my foot, my knee, and my grip. Pull him in. Now once I pull him in, I'm going to release my other foot. My other foot's on his hip. I got to take that off so I can sit up because it's going to be hard for me to sit up from here. I want to sit up a little bit so I can get a good grip. So I'm going to pull him in. I'm going to take my foot off his hip, and as I take it off, I'm going to sit up to grab behind his shoulder. Once I get that grip, I'm going to pull his hand to my stomach, get a grip, and pull the shoulder down. As I pull the shoulder down, you kick a little bit on the shin. A lot of pressure. I put my shin right on his bicep. Can't deal with that pressure. Push it in, from here, and sit up. Another entry you can use would just be here. It's not as high percentage. The other entry is a little bit better, but I'm going to throw this one in there for you guys because I like to give you more than what I originally planned to give you. I'm going to give you more. This is a twofer. This is for you guys, a twofer. I'm going to take his wrist, throw it inside. Throw it inside. As I'm throwing inside, I'm also reaching through. Reach through, and I can finish that way. There's your twofer. Now, I'm going to do the whole thing at full speed. Okay, here's a bicep slice off of the counter to him trying to pass my guard with a double stack. I'm in an open guard. Here, got my feet on his hips, we're playing, and he digs underneath to pass for a double stack. As soon as he does this, I cannot allow him to get any deeper than perhaps he already is. I have to attack, attack, attack. I'm going to attack now. Dig underneath. I'm going to sit all the way up, dig underneath his armpit with my hand. As I dig underneath, I'm going to pull his elbow out as I spin this leg all the way around to here. So I pull it out, come through. I'm going to bring my leg all the way up and triangle my legs here. I'm going to put my legs on his back. I'm going to turn my wrist towards me. I'm going to turn my hand towards me, put my wrist right inside his bicep and forearm. I'm going to squeeze my knees and secure the lock. Just going to look from a different angle. I'm in my open guard, he's going to pass. As soon as he gets here, guys, you cannot wait. As soon as he starts to come under, sit up and come underneath the armpit. When I come underneath the armpit, I'm going to pull him down and spin out. I'm going to pull his elbow towards me. Spin out. Notice how I'm catching his wrist with the back of my knee. Pulling his wrist towards me, catching his wrist with the back of my knee. Here, now I'm going to triangle my legs. I'm going to turn my hand towards me. When I turn my hand, that puts the blades in the forearm and the bicep. I'm going to squeeze my knees and get the tap. As I turn my hand towards me, I'll pull it, squeeze my knees to get the tap. Now, in fast motion, guess what, y'all? Twofer. I got another twofer for you. That means I'm giving y'all a bonus technique for one clip. All right. I'm going to start from my open guard here. I'm sitting down in this position here. My legs spread. I have one foot trapped underneath my butt almost, but it's in front of me. The other one's on the outside. I want wrist control just like this. So I have wrist control here and an underhook. I have wrist control and an underhook. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull him towards me using the underhook. As I'm pulling him towards me, I'm pulling his hand across my body. Now I'm going to pull him. The same time I pull him, I'm going to fall on my back and put my shin across his body. So I pull him to here. So I pull him here. This leg comes all the way over the top. And guess what? I have, let me spin so you can see the beauty of the thing that I have that'll make him tapping like Sammy Davis. Elbow crush. Boom. Arm lock. Boom. Elbow crush. Arm lock. Boom. Everything. Alright? Now at full speed. Underhook. Wrist control, full speed. Okay, let's get the heel hook from the open guard position. My opponent is standing over top of me, and I got at least some type of wrist control here, just so he's not trying to get my feet off and pass my guard. Now I will let go of a hand. I'm gonna let go of his hand here and grab his ankle. I want to grab his ankle so he can't run away. I'm gonna grab his ankle. I'm gonna take my foot off of his hip and put it on the floor because I'm gonna have a hard time throwing my leg over from here. So I'm going to take my foot, put it on the floor, and scoop underneath him to here. Now my leg just folds over easily. Now while I'm doing that, a problem that you're going to find as you do this technique is that as you throw your leg over, a lot of guys will just turn and spin out. So I want to block that even before before they have an opportunity to spin out. So as I'm throwing this leg over the top, this foot is coming behind his knee. Let me spin so you can see. So I'm underneath. I throw my leg over the top of his, and his foot comes underneath. Now he can't spin and turn out. So simultaneously, as I'm here, I'm underneath him, throw over the top, and his foot comes behind. Now, I break him down, kick him down, stay tight, knees together, and finish with the heel hook. Now let's do that at full speed. Okay, this has always been one of my favorite moves because it is so flashy. But guess what? This is one of them flashy moves that's very effective because you will catch a lot of people that will stand up above you and not stand up in a good posture. And when that happens, that's a cue, that's a green light for you to attempt this move every time. Now, what I'm going to do once I stand up, notice where his head is. If his head becomes above my sternum, that means he's not in posture. That means that I'm able to lift him up. And also because of the bend in his back, he's leaving me ledges for my feet to lock onto. I put my feet right inside his hips, right here. I'm going to control his wrist. Now, because he's leaning over top of me, all his weight is centered over top of me, all I have to do is lift. I can hold him here all day long. I'm just lifting. I'm just resting him right above me. Now, once he's here, I'm just going to pull his arm to the side. And notice his body is already starting to turn. I'm going to pull his arm to the side. As I pull his arm to the side, if I use this arm, I'm going to use this leg. I'm going to take it off of his hip. As I take it off of his hip, I'm just going to swing it around his head and just gently let him lay right where I need him. I'm going to pull his arm to the side and as close to my opposite shoulder as possible, because that's going to put him right in the position where I need him. So I pull the arm to the side, let go of my leg, and watch what happens. He lands. Then I grab the wrist and the head and boop. Now, full speed. Here's a situation where I'm on my back and my open guard. You know, we're playing, you know, we're strategizing here. And this guy wants to pass my guard. What? He wants to pass my guard and he steps over here. Okay, now once he steps over, I'm going to bring my knee up to block. This knee blocks. Let me turn so you guys can see this because I love this technique. Bring my knee up to block. Now as I block, my hips are going to raise and this leg's going to come all the way over the top. So I'm going to block initially, then raise and come all the way over the top with this leg. Now once I'm here, after I block, this leg's going to come right behind his knee. This one comes inside and I fold him backwards. Woo. Heel hook. Let's do this again from this angle here so you guys can see. I'm here, he's trying to pass my guard. What? Trying to pass my guard. I block. This comes over the top. This comes behind his knee. I'm going to kick this out as I pull down here. Now notice my legs. I'm here, and then I can, to keep him from further going over, I can put this back on top and finish with the heel hook. Now full speed. I'm going to start from the spider guard position. When I have spider guard, my shins fit right inside his elbow cracks. And what I'm going to control behind the triceps here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a side. For today, I'm going to choose my left side. Now, since I'm choosing my left side, I'm going to slide my hand down to his wrist and control the wrist. Typically, I'm going to control behind the tricep. Now I'm going to slide my hand down and control behind the wrist. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick my shin up towards me. Here, so I'm not just kicking it up here. I'm going to kick it up and bring my knee in to get his elbow as close to me as possible. Makes it easier because I really don't feel like working all that much to get a submission. And if I have to sit all the way up to get it, it's going to make it harder for me. And I don't really feel like working that hard when he can just give it to me. So I'm going to kick it up and bring it to me. So from here, kick up and bring it to me. Now, as I bring it to me, I'm going to straighten my knee and replace that space with this arm to here. Now once I'm here, hip out, get a better angle on the Kimura, and finish. Let me give you guys another angle on this so you can see what I'm doing. I have spider guard here with control. When I choose my side, I'm going to choose my left side. I'm going to slide my hand down, control the wrist. Kick it up and bring it to me. Straighten and then replace with my arm. Figure 40 arm, hip out, then finish the Kimura. Now let's do that at full speed. Okay, let's do the knee bar from when my opponent is standing up. I have wrist control. I can have 1, 2, I want some type of control just to keep him at this distance and to keep him at bay. Because if I don't have total control, or at least some type of control, his hands are going to be on my feet, and I'm not going to be able to get the knee bar that I want. So what I'm going to do is I have control. Let's say I have control here. And he gives me his leg. He's got his leg stepped up in position. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of just twist my hip a little bit to get my knee on the inside of his knee. So I'm going to twist my hip and come underneath his heel, or his ankle rather, right behind his ankle. So I'm going to twist, whoop, come behind. Now I'm going to throw this all the way over as I raise my hips past his knee. I'm going to shoot my leg behind his butt, drag him down, and finish the knee bar. Let me give you guys another angle because I'm sure that wasn't sufficient enough to see all the details involved with this technique. Okay, I'm starting here. Got wrist control so he's not, so he can't, knock my feet off. I'm gonna twist, get my knee on the inside, reach behind his ankle, raise above his knee, hook, pull him down, and finish with the knee bar. Now let's do that full speed. Okay, I'm going to do the knee bar off of the sweep from the De La Riva guard. It's an open guard, but it's a De La Riva guard because I'm being a little bit more specific with my terms. Alright, the De La Riva guard meaning that I have my leg wrapped around his on the outside. So I take my leg, wrap it around the outside, wrap it to the inside of his thigh. I want wrist control. Always have wrist control of some sort so that he just doesn't have free range to move your legs around and pass your guard. Now from here, what I'm going to do is, alright, I'm going to reach down and grab his heel as I sit back a little bit. I'm going to sit back just a little bit. So I'm going to plant my foot, grab his heel, sit back a little bit because that's going to give me a little bit more leverage in order to sit up and get my sweep. I'm going to come here, reach back, sit back. Now I'm going to drop my leg all the way to the floor as I remove my hand to here. Now I'm going to sit up and grab his leg. This way. Tight on the leg. Let me turn a little bit. From here, my leg's on the floor, right behind his heel. I sit up and I grab the leg. Don't grab under the knee. That's no good. That's no good at all. I'm going to grab above the knee. Now as I grab above the knee, I'm going to push my hips up and then kick my leg back. Now as I kick my legs back, I'm going to maintain that pressure. I'm going to hug his leg here and drive my hips forward. Now let me turn so you guys can see the knee bar. Here's the leg that I swept him over with. Here, and I have control of his leg here. I'm going to lay flat to the floor, control his leg so he can't move it. I'm going to kick his heel up with my leg and push my hips forward. And get the knee bar. Right. Control the leg, keep pressure on him, push the hips forward, and kick the heel up with your leg. Now full speed. Okay, here's another knee bar that I'm going to work off the open guard. He stands up. Okay, I have control. I'm in my guard. I have control on the hips and I have wrist control. He stands up. I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to switch this hand here. As I switch hands, I'm going to start getting to my side. So as I get to my side, I'm going to come underneath his leg drop this to the floor, get on my side. Notice this foot's going to turn because I'm going to use this to push him back as I sweep with this leg. Let me change my angle a little bit. So if I start here, switch hands, come underneath his leg as I turn, this foot comes right along his hip line, his waist, and this one goes to the floor so that I can sweep his leg out. From here, switch, hook the leg, foot on the waist, this one's going to go to the floor. I'm going to kick him back as I sweep his leg. Now as he's going down, I'm coming up with him. Alright, don't wait to come up. Come up with him, attach my body to his leg, and follow through with the knee bar. So I came all the way up. As I swept him over, I came all the way up and just attacked his leg. I'm not waiting. I'm going to attack his leg. Then come through, finish with the knee bar. Squeeze your knees and hip in. Do it full speed. All right, now let's do this in full speed. Okay, here's a modified Americana that I'm going to do with my legs when he tries to pass my guard. You know, a lot of times the guys will try to pass your guard, they're going to reach under, try to double stack it, they're going to reach under your legs. So I have to have something for that when he does, to make him pay for his mistakes. This is a mistake where he's reaching here. So I'm in my open guard, we're playing, he reaches under my leg to try to pass. As soon as he does this, if I wait too long, he'll get it up here and then he'll pass. So as soon as this happens, I'm going to grab the wrist and put my hand, or put my leg under here. Now, no matter how hard he lifts, he's not going to lift my foot. So this is how I block his initial attempt to put my leg on his shoulder. I'm going to put my foot underneath here and get the hook behind his knee. Now from here, I'm going to control the wrist and scoop back to here. Now once I do that, I'm going to switch my foot from here to the opposite side of his body. Opposite side of the body, right here. And I'm going to hook his ribs. Now from here, I'm going to drive his shoulder. Using my knee, I'm going to drive his shoulder into the floor. I'm going to straighten my leg, drive his shoulder into the floor. And if I want to get a little bit more pressure, and that's a lot of pressure. But if you want to get a little bit more, if you want to be mean about it, watch. If I want to be mean about it, when I get here and I switch to this side and I'm driving his shoulder to the mat and I'm straightening my leg, if I pull his arm out this way, that's even going to be more painful. That's more damaging, more painful. And I'm just doing that, you know, just because I want to be mean about it. But this is my partner here and I need him to film these moves, so I'm not going to be too mean. So I'm just going to take care of my boy. Now full speed. Omoplata from the open guard. I love this one. I love it. I love it. I love this open guard position because the open guard you can get a lot of stuff from because it's open. The variety of stuff you can get is just mad open. So now let's talk about the omoplata. I got my spider guard feeder on his hips. I'm working here. I put one foot on the bicep just to add to the attack. When I put a foot on the bicep, I'm going to control the wrist. If I'm controlling, if I have my shin in his elbow, I can control either at the tricep or the wrist, but the tricep is probably a little bit better from no-gi position or no-gi submission. So I'm working now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release this grip here, and I'm going to use this leg to help propel me around. So once I release this grip, this one straightens. So I release, this straightens, and I'm going to pull his arm as I spin around. Work here. I'm going to straighten this leg, chop it backwards this way as this one spins around. This is the motion that I make. Here. Straighten, spin around. Now once I get here, I want to control his wrist now. I'm going to get his wrist, I'm going to push it inside. As I take my hand, come underneath his leg. I'm going to come underneath his leg, I'm going to flatten him out by stretching here and stretching this leg. I'm going to stretch his legs back as I kick forward. It's going to flatten them out. Then I can sit up and finish the omoplata. Now let me go in full speed. Okay, now we're going to start the shoulder slice from the open guard. I have an open guard here. I have my feet on his hips. I'm working. You know, he's trying to pass. He's trying to get out. And let's say he makes a mistake and he puts his arm under. As soon as he puts his arm under to try to stack, I'm gonna take my arm, come underneath his armpit deep. I'm gonna sit up, come underneath his armpit as deep as I can, and I'm gonna put my wrist underneath his armpit to here. So I'm going to sit up to it. Then I'm going to come over the top of his head, bring my arm over the top of his head to here. Now once I get here, I'm going to lay back, reclose my guard. Now once I get my guard closed, I'm going to turn my wrist. As I'm turning my wrist, I'm kicking my knee down and putting all that pressure onto my wrist, because I'm getting this part of my wrist and this part of my wrist into his shoulder, under his armpit, and on his bicep and on his shoulder. It's a lot of pain, it's a lot of pressure, and this move absolutely is excruciating. It's terrible. It's a terrible position. So here, reclose the guard, tight, get my grip. I'm going to turn the pressure. I'm going to turn it as I'm kicking down and turn and kick down. Also, when I'm here, as I'm turning, I'm kicking down, I'm not only just putting pressure on my legs, I'm squeezing my knees as well. So I'm kicking down and squeezing my knees. And that is just awful. Awful, awful, awful. I'm telling you right now, go home and try this move. Or right now, stop the DVD, grab your boy, grab your girlfriend, grab your wife, whoever's next to you, and try this technique while I do it in full speed.